Okay, we'll get started here in just a second. Want to make sure that the audio and the video is streaming okay. We're streaming this live from both Facebook and YouTube. And in this video, what I want to do is I want to show you how to roll a debit spread. Typically when we're rolling naked positions or short options, you want to do that for a credit, but when you roll a debit spread, it's a little bit different. So the example we're looking at, and this is a position that we have on for our Navigation Alert subscribers, and that's in Apple. So we put on a debit spread looking for a down move about right here because we, looking at that as a kind of a short-term price extreme, just looking for a little bit of a pullback. Obviously that didn't happen. It kept going. So our position looks like this, right? We're almost at a max loss. But the whole reason we put this position on was to add short delta to our overall portfolio. And again, we are looking at this because we thought at the time it was at a little bit of a price extreme. Now, we're still in the same position. We still need short delta in our portfolio, and I still think that Apple has some room to go to the downside. So with that assumption, I'm going to keep the dream alive, so to speak, because I want to stay short Apple, but we need to move to the next expiration cycle. We're currently in the March cycle, which only has 8 days left. And when you get into the last week before expiration, if your options are in the money, you do start to run a little bit higher risk of getting potentially assigned, which that makes a lot of people nervous. They don't necessarily understand it. And so just keep in mind, if you get assigned, all you have to do is then close out the stock. Your broker gives you a day to do that. It's not a big deal. However, I still don't like to get assigned. I like to take care of the position before that happens, if at all possible. And so in this case, because we are pretty deep in the money on these options, I'm going to go ahead and I want to roll this to the next expiration cycle. And to do that, here's what we're going to do. Because if I were to take the same strike, so we're at the 135 and 130 vertical put spread. If I were to take those same strikes and roll them to the April cycle, this is what it would look like. Okay? So this is an example of what not to do. Okay? And the reason being is look at this. Price would have to get all the way back to under 133. Let's call it 134. Have to get under 134 for even to start making a profit based on where the break even is at expiration. So it's a very low probability trade. If we set the slices to break even, 422, which would be the expiration cycle. Let's just move this over here. If we move this hash mark to our break even point and take a look at what that would do to our probabilities. That's good enough there. Look, there's a 70%, almost a 70% chance that we're going to lose money on this trade. Okay, only a little over 30% chance that between now and expiration we're going to make money. I don't like those probabilities, right? I don't like those odds. I like to put the odds more in our favor. So instead of doing that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to change the strike. So I'm going to be going from 135, 130 to 145, 135. Now keep in mind, by doing that, we are increasing our capital usage. So the max, we're going to be paying a debit of $5.65 on this with 2 contracts. So our max risk is 1,130. But look at our probabilities then. If we move that over to the break-even point, which is going to be right here at now that's putting the probabilities more on our side, 55+% chance of profiting. And again, if I don't think Apple's going to go down, I'm not doing this trade. If I don't need short delta in my portfolio, I'm not doing this trade. But based on those assumptions for me and what fits best in my portfolio, this is the trade that we're going to make. So I've set this up as a as a roll. So you can do it all in one transaction. So we can move from the 135, 130 put spread in March, and we can roll that to the April cycle with the 145, 135 strikes. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and I like doing that as one transaction. So right click, confirm and send, and we'll wait to see if we can get filled here. So I hope that was helpful. I'm going to get off here as soon as we get filled. I'm going to push that alert out to our Navigation Alert subscribers. If you want to learn more about this type of trading and the strategy involved and the way to earn consistent profits trading these types of strategies, you can always subscribe to NavigationAlerts.com, where you get these alerts emailed and texted to you on your phone live as we make the trade. So hope this was helpful. See you next time.